There is a secret that was marked from the very moment you cried your first cry into this world, Cancer. A secret that not even those closest to you have ever known, yet it has quietly guided every step you have taken. And I dare promise you, if you stay with me until the end, you will never look at your birthday the same way again. Today, on your sacred birthday, I will open for you the hidden pages of astrology, why you were born, why your birthday is a doorway of destiny, and what makes the Cancer soul a treasure the world can never replace. For what I am about to share with you may cause you to see yourself with completely new eyes. And before we step into this journey, I am ready to discover the secret of Cancer's birth. This is not just a statement. It is a way for you to connect with the cosmic energy that is waiting to grant you its sacred gift. The very first secret I will reveal is about why your birthday, Cancer, carries within it a promise of the entire universe. Have you ever stopped, looked at your date of birth, and asked yourself, why did I come into the world at that exact moment and not earlier or later? For those who carry the mark of Cancer, that question is not just curiosity, but a key that unlocks a deeper truth. The day you were born is a wish of the universe. It was not by chance that you appeared under the light of the moon. It was not by chance that you let out your first cry in a moment the heavens had already arranged. Every detail, from the position of the planets, the rhythm of the universe, to the presence of your soul, was woven together into one message. The world needs a heart like yours. In astrology, the moon is the ruling planet of Cancer. It represents emotions, the subconscious, memory, safety, home, and the essence of motherhood. If the sun is the blazing light of the outer world, then the moon is the gentle lamp within the soul. When you are born under the sign of Cancer, the mark of the moon is carved deep into your spirit. It grants you a rare intuition, a gift of empathy, and the ability to connect with the deepest layers of human beings. Perhaps you have wandered at times asking, what was I born to do? But the truth is, from the moment the moon chose you, that role was already etched into your soul. You are the keeper of memory, the guardian of home, the soul that knows how to embrace the whole world with a single gaze. I believe there is no Cancer who comes into this world by accident. I have met Cancers born in late June, tender as the first streams of summer water. I have met Cancers born in mid-July, as deep as the ocean floor. They are different, yet they share one truth. Each is an answer to a need of the world. On the day you were born, perhaps somewhere another child needed a companion to understand them. Perhaps a family needed a child to keep the home warm. Perhaps your community needed a heart willing to sacrifice, to remind them that humanity still has a place of refuge. And so your birth was never only for you. It was an answer to someone's prayer that you may never know. Once, I looked into the eyes of a Cancer and I realized there are souls born not to receive, but to give. Your gentleness does not only warm one person's heart, it inspires entire communities. Cancers often stand quietly in the background, yet their very presence is the glue that keeps families, friendships, and societies from breaking apart. The human lesson of a Cancer's birthday is this: love is never wasted. Even if you give it silently, the universe records it, and that very act of giving makes you an invisible pillar of humanity. Have you ever felt that you were not born to live only for yourself, but to keep the hearts of many others warm? If you have, it is because you are Cancer. Others may see your sensitivity as a burden, but the truth is, it is that very sensitivity that makes you a candle in the darkness. You do not need to blaze like the sun. Simply by being, you are enough for someone to see the way. And sometimes, just by your presence in a room, the atmosphere shifts. People breathe easier. They trust more. They believe that tomorrow still holds hope. I remember a Cancer man. He was not skilled in fine words, nor was he someone who stood out. But once, when a colleague fell into crisis, he sat there, listening quietly for hours. He offered no great advice. He only said, "I am here. You are not alone." Later, that colleague confessed it was that simple presence that saved him from ending his life. That is the power of Cancer. No need for many words, no need for dazzling light. With just your heart and your presence, you can change the destiny of another. And if you have ever lived a moment where your compassion altered the course of someone else's life, share that story below. because sometimes your story will be the spark for someone lost in the dark. And perhaps in those very comments, another soul will find the faith to keep going. Right? I am ready to become a light for others. If your birthday is a wish, have you ever asked yourself, whose wish was it? Was it the prayer of your parents? Or deeper still, was it the call of your ancestors? In astrology, Cancer is tied to the fourth house, the house of roots, family, and ancestral legacy. This means that every Cancer carries not only their own story, but also the memory and the promise of generations upon their shoulders. We will explore this in the next chapter, where I will tell you about the sacred connection between your birthday, your lineage, and the Cancer soul. The birthday of Cancer is never an accident. It is an arrangement for you to become the answer to a prayer hidden somewhere in humanity. The moon did not choose you without reason. It chose you because this world needs gentle hearts, hearts that can empathize, sacrifice, and turn love into a torch to light the way for others. Congratulations, Cancer. Your birthday is not only the day you entered this world, it is the day the universe itself breathed in relief, for finally, someone had been sent to love on behalf of the hearts that had long closed. There is something few ever stop to consider. The day you were born was not only the day you began your life, but the day your entire family wrote another chapter. When we speak of Cancer, we cannot separate it from the words family, roots, and ancestral memory. In astrology, this is reflected most clearly in the fourth house, the house of origins. And right there, your day of birth bears a sacred imprint. You do not belong only to the present. You belong to a long chain of souls that came before and those yet to come. In the natal chart, the fourth house rests at the bottom of the sky, the Imam Coeli. It is the foundation, the roots, the spiritual home. For Cancer, the fourth house is not merely a place to return to. It is a treasury of invisible inheritance, memories, habits, beliefs, and even the unfinished prayers of ancestors. The day you were born, those energies were imprinted upon your soul. They shaped your deepest inclinations, the need to protect family, the attachment to memory, the ability to feel what has not been spoken. Perhaps you have felt it, walking into a room, sensing who is joyful, who is burdened, who is holding back pain. That is no coincidence. It is the inheritance of the fourth house in Cancer's chart, where the memories and emotions of those before you flow into you like a red thread. I have many times experienced a strange sensation when facing a Cancer. In their eyes, I do not only see them, I glimpse the faces of generations past. There was a Cancer woman I once spoke with. As she shared her childhood, I heard in her words not only her pain, but the echoes of the women in her family, her grandmother, her mother, her aunts, women who had suppressed their emotions all their lives. And when she wept, I understood. Those were not only her tears, they were a release for her entire lineage. I believe that when a Cancer cries, they do not only cry for themselves. They cry for the generations who never dared to speak. This is why I say, when I look into a Cancer, I always see the living presence of those who came before. You were not born only for yourself. You are a link in the chain, a thread binding the past and the future. Cancers often, without realizing, become the keepers of the flame in their families. You are the one who remembers anniversaries. You are the one who calls the old stories. You are the one who notices the smallest details others forget. At times, you may feel heavy as though carrying the weight of the whole family. But trust me, you are the bridge through which ancestors and the future meet. Without you, memories would fade. Lessons would be lost. But because you exist, those things live on, passed down not only in words, but in the beating of your heart. Pause for a moment and think about this. Your birthday is not only the day you stepped into life. It is the day your family's story was continued. Perhaps in the instant you were born, someone in your family breathed a sigh of relief. At last, a new light has come. Perhaps you were the one born to heal the wounds of generations. Perhaps you were the answer to a silent prayer whispered by a grandmother, a mother, or even an ancestor from long ago. And from that moment on, you became part of a picture far greater than yourself. I once met a Cancer man born on July 4th. He told me that from childhood, he always felt an invisible responsibility to care for his younger siblings, to stand in the middle and mediate family conflicts, to quietly bear emotions for others. At first, he saw it as a burden, but as he grew, he understood this was the legacy of the fourth house. He was not only an individual, he was the continuation of his ancestors. And because of him, the children in his family grew up in greater peace, no longer repeating the cycles of the past. His story convinced me that every Cancer's birthday is a sacred covenant between the soul and the lineage. You may not realize it, but sometimes your choices are the continuation of something unfinished from before. A Cancer becomes a teacher, because deep within, a grandmother once dreamed of chalk in classrooms, but never had the chance. A Cancer becomes a doctor, because somewhere in their bloodline, the call to heal has always been sounding. That is the mark of the fourth house. It reminds you that you do not live only for the present. You are living for the unfulfilled dreams of your ancestors. If you feel that these words resonate with you, leave a like and share this video so that this energy may flow to more souls. And if you've ever felt like the keeper of memory in your family, write down that story. Because perhaps your very experience will awaken someone else to the sacred meaning of their own birthday. But the secret does not end here. If your birth carries the imprint of your ancestors, then what happens when we look closely at each day within Cancer? Every decan, every cluster of days, holds a distinct soul imprint, and it is these differences that paint the colorful picture of all who belong to this sign. In the next chapter, I will open this door so that you may know, though you share the same sign, your birthday carries its own secret, its own soul code unlike any other. Your birthday is not just an event. It is a continuation. It is a bridge between memory and hope, between ancestors and the future. And when you light your own life, you are not only living for yourself, you are writing the next chapter of an entire lineage. Cancer, you are the proof that love does not flow through one life only, but can ripple through generations. There is a truth few people know. Even though you all belong to Cancer, your birthday holds a unique soul code. In astrology, each sign is divided into 3 decans. Each decan is ruled by a different planet, shaping personality, destiny, and soul mission. This is why no 2 Cancers are ever exactly the same. The day you were born is the key to your distinction. Cancer's first decan is ruled most strongly by the moon, the original ruler of the sign. Those born in this span carry sensitive souls, deep family ties, and an intuition that feels almost instinctive. I often say, when a Cancer decan 1 enters the room, it is like the moon rising at night. They do not need to do anything, and yet the entire space softens. They can perceive emotions in others, sometimes understanding people more than those people understand themselves. These Cancers teach us that gentleness is not weakness. On the contrary, it is the foundation of trust, connection, and healing. I once met a young woman born on June 23rd. Whenever her family clashed, she stood in the middle, listening to both sides. At first, she felt like an emotional trash bin for everyone, but in time she realized her quiet presence was what helped her family calm down, to speak again in love. That is how a Cancer decan 1 lives their soul code. Cancer's second decan is ruled by Pluto, the planet of transformation, death, and rebirth. This grants born in this period a depth of emotion more intense, sometimes extreme. I have met many Cancers of decan 2. They do not only feel, they live emotions so fully that it seems they breathe alongside them. I often say, a Cancer decan 2 is like a silent flame. When they love, the whole world glows. When they grieve, the entire sky grows heavy. These Cancers teach us that rebirth always begins in ruin. They are souls who can walk through the dark to find the light, not only for themselves, but for those who walk with them. A friend of mine, born on July 8th, suffered great loss when he was young. Instead of letting grief destroy him, he wrote journals, pouring out his heart. Later, those journals were published and they helped thousands overcome their own crises. This is the essence of a Cancer decan 2, turning pain into the power to heal others. Cancer's third decan is ruled by Neptune, the planet of dreams, intuition, and spirituality. Those born in this span often carry vivid imagination, abundant creativity, and a profound inner life. I remember a man born on July 15th. He could look at a simple painting and weave an entire story from it. I believe Cancer decan 3 has the gift of turning the invisible into the visible, translating intuition into art, dreams into reality. These Cancers remind us, the world is not only run by reason. It is also nourished by dreams and faith. They are the bridge between humanity and the sacred. An artist I knew, born on July 20th, once told me, "Music does not come to me from books. It comes from dreams." Every song he wrote brought tears to those who listened, because within each melody flowed intuition and guidance from a place far away. That is Neptune's energy, dreamlike, mystical, yet deeply sacred. I have met Cancers born in the same month, yet each one was like a different note in the symphony of the cosmos. Some were deep bass notes, others were soaring highs. But together, they form the music of compassion and love that only Cancer can bring. No two Cancers are alike. The universe creates diversity so that every soul has the chance to shine in its own way. And it is that very diversity that enriches humanity. Ask yourself, were you born at the dawn of Cancer season when the moon swells with tenderness? Do you belong to the middle span, where Pluto gives you the power of rebirth? Or were you born in the final days, carrying the intuition and dreams of Neptune? Whichever decan you belong to, remember, you were born with a unique soul code, unmatched by anyone else. Right below, I was born on, and share which decan of Cancer you belong to. Who knows, you may discover a kindred soul who shares your very day. And do not forget, if you feel these words are true for you, leave a like and share this video so that this positive energy may flow to many more. If every birthday in Cancer carries its own code, then what happens when we look at the greater destiny? In the next chapter, I will tell you about your birthday as a spiritual promise, where personal fate intertwines with the mission of humanity itself. A birthday does not only mark your arrival, it reveals a code of destiny, a unique melody that only you can sing. And whether you are a Cancer of the moon, of Pluto, or of Neptune, you remain the proof that love, intuition, and rebirth are the gifts Cancer offers this world. There is a question that haunted me for many years. Was the day we were born just coincidence, or was it a prior appointment with the universe? When I stepped deeper into astrology, I realized nothing is random. The moment you were born, the entire sky had already drawn a map, not only to show you who you are, but to reveal who you are meant to become. In that map, there are 2 points of immense significance, the North Node and the South Node. They are not planets, yet they are the soul of the chart. The South Node is your baggage, the memories, the skills, the lessons your soul has mastered in past lives. The North Node is your path, the new lessons, the mission, the reason you came into this life. And when you bear the mark of Cancer, the journey of the nodes becomes the key to your sacred mission. You were born to nurture, to protect, and to heal the souls of others. When the North Node lies in Cancer, it means your soul has once been familiar with Capricorn's path. You once lived for duty, for work, for achievements. You once knew the weight of building careers, conquering goals, and holding a strong image before society. But in this life, you are not permitted to live only for titles. Your sacred call is to return to home, to kindness, to love. This explains why many Cancers feel an inner conflict. One part of you longs for success out there, but another part of you yearns only for a peaceful home, a place to love and be loved. I believe this is the challenge of the North Node, to release the ego and to learn how to live for connection and love. I believe that when a Cancer walks into the world receives a fountain of love that never runs dry. I have witnessed this many times. A Cancer friend of mine, no matter how busy, always remembered to call his parents. A Cancer student I once taught quietly encouraged friends when they were breaking down. They did not need to be great nor to be noticed, but their presence was like a blanket on a winter night. The universe sends Cancer into this world as a reminder: love still exists, humanity still has a home to return to. Our world today is turbulent. Wars, conflicts, divisions, and in such a landscape, Cancer is born with an invaluable role: to be the keeper of humanity's flame. You nourish souls through your listening. You heal brokenness through your gentleness. You keep memory and tradition alive so that people do not forget their roots. The human lesson of Cancer is this: we cannot survive by chasing material alone. We only truly live when we know how to love and lean on each other. Have you ever asked yourself, was I born to be a refuge for someone who is falling apart? If you are Cancer, the answer is often yes. Perhaps you have lived this moment. A friend calls you at midnight, crying in silence, and you simply sit and listen to their breathing. They do not need you to solve their problem. They only need your presence, and it is that presence that saved them. That is the power of Cancer. You are the shelter for broken hearts. I remember a Cancer woman I met in a small church in America. She was not a priest, not a spiritual leader, only an ordinary congregant. But after every service, she would stay, hold the hands of those in despair, and pray with them. Once, a widow sat collapsed in tears. That Cancer woman said nothing. She only embraced her. And in that embrace, the pain was halved and hope was multiplied. Watching this, I understood. Cancer does not need titles to lead. They only need a heart wide enough to hold the pain of others. And there is yet another reason why Cancer's mission is so unique. They are often tied to the karma of family. You may find yourself carrying responsibilities for generations before you, healing the wounds your parents, your grandparents never had the chance to heal. Perhaps you are the only one in the family who dares to speak the truth, who dares to forgive, who dares to open a new path. This is not a burden, it is part of your mission. Because when a Cancer heals, an entire family heals. In Christian faith, the image of the mother and the keeper of the flame is held sacred. People believe that God sends special souls into humanity to be the very hands of compassion in a harsh world. And in American culture, Cancer is often seen as the one who binds family, preserves tradition, and builds community. They are the silent souls, not needing glitter. But because of them, the house still stands. That is how Cancer lives their spiritual mission, in perfect harmony with the beliefs and the values of the West. Today, when the world is consumed by speed, by technology, and by loneliness, Cancer's mission grows ever more precious. They are the ones who begin the movement of healing. They are the ones who serve in social work, in charity, in medicine, in counseling. They are the ones who light up social media with words of sincerity. Cancer does not only hold the private home. They can turn the whole community into a home. Write in the comments, "I am ready to live fully with my soul's mission." Every word you write is not only a comment, it is a covenant with your very soul. These words are not mere speech. They are a declaration to the universe that you are ready to live as a true Cancer. A soul of healing, a soul of protection. We already know that the birthday of Cancer carries the mission of nurturing and healing. But there is something deeper still. Every action you take today becomes the legacy of tomorrow. And so the question remains, what legacy will it be? Will you leave to your children a cycle of pain or a river of love? In the next chapter, I will tell you how your birthday can transform from a private secret into a gift for all of humanity. Your birthday is not only the moment you entered life, it is a promise that you would become a refuge, a healing hand, a proof that love still exists. O Cancer, when you live true to your soul's mission, the world will never be without a fountain of love. From the beginning of this journey, we have walked through the secrets of your birth, the heritage of your ancestors, and the sacred mission of your soul. But there is still a deeper layer. The value you as a Cancer bring to all humanity. The day you were born may have begun as a personal story, of your family, of the memories you carried. But with time, that secret expands, ripples outward, until it becomes part of a larger current. The current of society, the current of humanity. Cancer does not live only for the self. You live to plant seeds for the harvest of the future. In astrology, Cancer is one of the 4 cardinal signs, along with Aries, Libra, and Capricorn. The cardinal signs are the initiators. They open doors, they start cycles. Aries begins spring, life awakening. Cancer begins summer, life nourished. Libra begins autumn, balance restored. Capricorn begins winter, strength crystallized. This means your birthday is not only the mark of an individual, it is the opening of a season. When Cancer arrives, summer begins. And in that symbol, you become the planter of seeds, the origin, the one who sows into humanity the sprouts of compassion and love. I have witnessed many Cancers quietly changing their communities without anyone ever knowing their names. They might be a mother raising children to love. They might be a volunteer caring for the homeless. They might be a friend, simply listening when someone else needs it most. The world often applauds grand victories, but sometimes it is the silent changes that keep society from collapsing. And that is where Cancer shines. Not needing the stage, not needing a title, only needing a heart that is warm enough. When you are Cancer, you do not only live for the present, you plant seeds. A word of encouragement today may become the faith someone needs tomorrow. A small act of kindness today may become a beautiful memory, nourishing a soul for a lifetime. A quiet sacrifice today may save an entire generation. This is the human lesson Cancer offers. Never underestimate the power of the small. For it is the small things that make the great harvest. The world needs hearts like yours, hearts that give without asking back. Perhaps you once gave love, and no one remembered. Perhaps you once sacrificed, and no one knew. But do not grieve, because the universe remembers, and humanity is always lifted by the gentleness you sow. You are the living proof that giving never vanishes. It flows outward, quietly, and becomes the light that guides others. I remember a Cancer man born on July 5th. He was a teacher in a small town. For 30 years he was never mentioned in the news, never received a great award. But thousands of his students grew up, becoming doctors, engineers, activists, and all of them said, "It was he who planted in us faith and compassion." Do you see? He did not need to stand out, but he planted seeds. And because of that, an entire community reaped golden harvests. This is the image of Cancer, the quiet beginner, the one who plants for tomorrow. In today's world, where technology races and competition consumes, where loneliness spreads, Cancer stands as a reminder. We cannot live without connection, without love. The value Cancer brings is not limited to family. It expands to society, to humanity. You hold the collective memory, reminding us of our roots. You spread compassion, softening the harshness. You sow into society the belief that love still remains, still enough to carry us onward. If you have ever lived a moment where your love changed someone's life, share it in the comments. You will inspire others, and perhaps your story will become the seed of faith for a soul on the verge of despair. Right? I am ready to sow the seed of love into this world. But then the question arises, once the seed is sown, what happens next? A seed needs light to grow. And here, the universe calls the name of Sagittarius, the flame of truth, of freedom, of guiding light. In the next chapter, I will tell you, when Cancer plants the seed of love, Sagittarius brings the flame of truth, helping that seed grow into the tree of life. Your birthday is not just a private secret. It is a cosmic seed sown into humanity. You are the one who begins summer, the one who lights faith, the one who ensures this world will always have a home. O Cancer, you are not only living for yourself, you are writing humanity's story, through love, through tenderness, through a heart that gives without asking. Dear Cancer, thank you for walking with me through this long journey, from the secret of your birth, to the heritage of your ancestors, to the sacred mission your soul carries. Thank you for listening, not only with your ears, but with your heart. Because if you are still here, still lingering on each word, it means you have found a piece of yourself in this story. And that is the most sacred gift of all. Remember, your birthday is never just an ordinary day. It is the mark of a soul sent down to love, to protect, and to plant seeds for the future. But this journey is not finished. This is only the beginning. If today you have realized your value, let it become your declaration. Write in the comments, "I am ready to embrace my great destiny." These words are not merely spoken. They are a covenant between you and the universe. A confirmation that you are ready to step out, to live fully with your soul. And if these words have touched you, leave a like, share this video so that positive energy may spread farther. Because who knows, your single act of sharing may be the spark that lights the way for a wandering soul. O Cancer, you are not alone. You are part of a community of hearts that know how to love. You are the one this world has been waiting for. And ahead lies another journey. The journey of Sagittarius, where the flame of truth and freedom will shine upon the seeds you have planted. Stay with me, because the story is not over. It has only just begun. Thank you for existing in this world. Thank you for living true to your Cancer heart. And thank you because your very presence proves love still remains and will remain forever.